How's it going, everybody? So I'm here in the shop pulling this Poulan apart, 3750. I just wanted to point out a few things that I like and don't like. The paint I don't like. Poulan, but Poulan was notorious for not finishing their paint. So when brake clean or carb cleaner hits it, it just turns to mush. Now I didn't really get any on the saw, except but one little spot that you're not going to ever be able to see. But they also, when they painted it, they painted the crankcase. So when I sprayed out the crankcase with carb cleaner to clean it out, it all turned loose, and I'm having to clean all that out. That's one of the things that I'm not too happy about. Now, another thing, I don't know what they were thinking when they thought they would put Loctite on these head screws, because that was a pain. Thought I was going to break something trying to get the head bolts out. Look at how much was on that one. Crazy. Other than that, rod feels good. Crank feels good. Unfortunately, the air filter, I'm guessing, doesn't work very well, because it definitely shows some wear from particulate ingestion. All that right there is just fine particles. And I noticed when pulling the saw apart that in Hawaii he's cutting some hardwood, and there's quite a great deal of fines that was on the saw. So I figured that there would probably be quite a bit of skirt wear on the intake side. Well, let's check our clearance here. Still in good shape. There's no slap. I like that there are cutouts here in the crankcase, and this transfer design is much like a 1010 or a ProMax 700. Actually, they're actually really good looking transfers. So what I'm going to do is, once I get the numbers, I'm going to go in here and take a little bit out of this bottom, get more volume in the lower transfers. Ought to add more torque. And then I'm probably going to go in here and raise this primary transfer back here just a smidge higher than the secondary transfer. That ought to help it out a little bit. Granted, all the other numbers check out, which they should. There shouldn't be any issues there. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to show you. ProMax 700 transfers. See how they're really similar. Let's see, where's the light at? There it is. I mean, that versus that, I mean, they look pretty much identical, don't they? That's why this saw runs so good. Stock. One of their better running saws. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see about getting these lowers here to match up a little better with the lowers here. Because all it's doing is, as the piston comes down, it's just a little bit more, just giving a little bit more volume in the lower transfer. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give a little more volume in the lower transfers, and then a couple things up here. Make sure the exhaust, it's got quite a small exhaust, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Rework the exhaust a little bit. As you can tell, magnesium crankcase, so that's good. It's got a 3-shoe clutch on it, so that's good. All in all, this will be a good little workhorse. Now this saw probably wouldn't stand up to production cutting. The closest, I mean, you might could get away cutting pulpwood with it, but other than that, I don't know what kind of bearings it has in here. Chances are they're not super duper great bearings based on how much play is in it side to side. My guess would be no. Boy, they're not even hardly pressed on. That's ball bearings. But I mean, they had to have put pretty good ones in there if they expected it to stay tuned at 13,800. So all in all, the potential for this saw is really good. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in, work a little magic on the top end, and this should get me ready for port work on max because the transfers are so similar. I got to make sure all my tools, like my right hand, my right angle bit here, or my right angle tool. Oops, come here. Can fit down in there. Oh yeah, we got plenty of room. So we'll do that. I may talk to him about getting a new piston. I don't know. I don't think there's quick test. Let's see if it'll do it. Sometimes, depending on how tight the clearance is, what it'll do is it'll drop, and then once it gets past the exhaust, it'll just slowly descend once it catches. No, it fell straight. No, I guess this one isn't the one that's going to do it. Probably not enough bore. Top end looks pretty good. There's some, you can see a little bit of wear. Not horrible though. Alright, well, that's the 3750. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I got some footage coming up of the 046 if you haven't already seen it by the time I post this, and a couple other saws. Yeah, y'all have a good one.